Welcome back all. Blower here. Alright, so we are going to head toward the lake. And I like to leave from the Eastern Abbey Shrine, so just go ahead and warp yourself there. And we're going to fly down toward that tower. It is in a southeasterly direction. You can't really miss it. It's a great big lake, great big tall tower. And we're going to make landfall right at the shoreline of the lake here. Matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and pin that tower, because as we get closer to it, it'll start getting harder and harder to figure out which direction it is. Okay, so just for map reference, that's where we were, that's where we're going. Alright, reason I like to touch down right here by the shoreline is there's some treasure to get along the way, and some Octorok seeds, of course, as you might expect. Make sure you've got your mask equipped, by the way. That way, when it turns nighttime, you don't have to worry about those pesky bad guys that are going to pop up out of the ground. Not to mention, we will be coming up on some bad guys, and it's just helpful to have that equipped so we can kind of blend in and get done what we need to get done. Alright, so there's our treasure chest. Alright, we're going to continue on toward the shoreline, just kind of keep relatively close to the shore, just follow the contour of the lake. And what I'm doing is I'm looking for fish, Octorok Bass in particular. You can never have enough stamina in this game, and you're going to go through it, folks. But that's another fish I'm looking for, is Hearty Bass. Now, it doesn't give you a lot of extra hearts, I think it's only 2. But, you know, you might need them, so might as well collect them while we're going along the way. And I'm actually heading to that little cluster of islands right over there. There's a Octorok seed over there. It's going to be one we haven't seen yet. It's basically going to be a ring of lights on a timer. You gotta push the button, activate it, and then get to the ring of lights before time runs out. Pretty straightforward. Pretty common throughout Hyrule to find a Octorok seed in that configuration. And I like to set up these ice blocks and fly. It just kind of speeds you up a little bit so you're not swimming the whole way. It just seems to take forever if you're just relying on swimming alone. And it does look like I have some stamina fish here. Awesome sauce. The more the merrier, folks. The more the merrier. Just don't take too long fishing and things like that, because as I mentioned before, we are kind of on a race against the clock, trying to get to that rainforest before that blood moon hits. I'm not trying to scare you. We got time. I just don't want to take too much time fishing. That's all. Okay, so here's that pedestal. I'll go ahead and mark that with a leaf, that way we know where it started. And there's the ring of lights I was talking about. And you can see it's kind of counting down, which is the timer. Plenty of time to get out there. Okay, another reason I like to follow along with the contour of the lake is Octoroks, water Octoroks. They have materials that are going to be crucial. Balloons, which are going to be used to pick up objects. I should probably be using a burner bow for those guys, because they don't really take a lot of attack power to kill. And the old bow will do the job. So I didn't get a balloon that time, but I did get a tentacle. Usually they're going to drop balloons, though. Also, they're also going to give you whatever material they happen to have in their bellies. So that time I got a Octorok Bass, which is pretty cool. They usually do give you some kind of extra material like that. Usually it's going to be a material that's in the area, so... could be a Staminoka bass, it could be a Hearty bass, etc., etc. Okay, so just following along with the contour of the lake here, we're coming across... We'll be coming up to, I should say, another croc seed. Just keep those eyes peeled for those Staminoka bass. I think I got a couple more here. Kind of hard to tell sometimes. Those look like regulars, I'm going to let those live. And I just passed the stamina bass. That's epic fail on my part. I thought I did. I might have just been seeing things. That's unfortunate. There's our balloon. Excellent. Okay, those eyeballs are also going to be another key material. Later on in the game, when we go to upgrade our snow boots and our sand boots, you're going to need 5 of those. And they're harder to come across than you might think. So, anytime you see an Octorok... Oh, crap. Okay, that's a big no-no. Since I let myself drown, I brought Link all the way back to the point he had his feet on dry land last. So I'm kind of starting over now. Epic fail. I mentioned earlier on that these ice blocks will break. You only get 3, so if you create a 4th, the first of the 3 you created will break. I just happened to be standing on that one, and it broke, and I drowned. So it's probably a good idea to let your stamina replenish before you go making ice blocks. And now you know, learn from my mistake. No big deal, I just wasted time is all, and I probably left some ingredients out there on the water. Okay, so what I'm looking for is a little piece of sandy shoreline. Ooh, stamina bass. Excellent. I missed. Alright, I think it's actually right over there, so... Getting close, getting close. And I'll try to show you on the map without actually having the map. You know, it's rough estimations of kind of what we're doing, but we're just due south of the Great Plateau here, Eastern Abbey, just following the contour of the lake. I'm getting a little low on my life, so I will go ahead and top off here. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. When these bony guys pop up, that's another thing this mask protects you from. They'll just kind of come up, sniff around. They won't actually attack until you go to kill one. That being said, as soon as you do, the rest will attack. So be quick on the draw. I always like to try to get the headshots in when I can. Just because, you know, that KO credit builds up a little faster. You don't have a whole lot of running around room here, unfortunately. So bear that in mind. Oh, another thing about getting those headshots on the bony guys is it's a one-hit kill, so you don't have to worry about popping the head off and then killing the head on the ground. If you use your bow and arrow, shoot them in the head, they're dead. Alright, I'm not going to worry about these weapons. They're really not good weapons. Okay, so now we're going to head out to where these little islands are. Oh yeah, be careful not to plop down in the water underneath the ice block, because it will break. Really, really annoying feature of the game. I don't know why they did it that way. If you end up under a raft or something like that, you just go under the water. Nothing really happens. But, God forbid, you get under one of your own ice blocks, the stupid thing will just break right apart. So, very, very irritating. But it is what it is. Okay, that's a soldier's broadsword equivalent weapon there. Not very durable, but stronger than that, so I think I'll go ahead and tech refresh. Looks like I got some stamina fish. Lots of fish. Okay, continuing on to the island chain here. I'm heading right toward that little pine tree, and it's the only pine tree that's out here, so it's automatically suspect. It might be a Octorok seed. This treasure chest, anytime you come across a treasure chest in the ground and it does not light up with a rune, it is not a real treasure chest. That is an Octorok. Treasure Octorok to be exact. So just lob a bomb at it, that'll get him to pop up, then kill him with another bomb, good to go. Cool thing about Treasure Octoroks is you'll also get rupees. Okay, do approach this tree rather slowly. There's oftentimes a beetle attached to this tree. In case in point. Rugged Rhino beetle, that is going to be for defense. I'm not really big on the defense in this game. I like the attack power. So, I'll just kind of... come on, Link, get up that tree. So I'll just kind of ignore that, I'll ignore those beetles for the most part. The only beetles I'm really interested in are going to be the yellow ones, which are going to be for stamina, and later for suit upgrades, and then the blue ones, which of course are for attack power. Alright, so we just came to a shrine. I'm not going to go in that shrine right now. Reason being, we're on a race against the clock, so I'm just going to kind of get done what I'm here for. We're going to get this map, get this tower activated. One cool thing is whenever you activate your first tower, you're going to get more functionality on your Sheikah slate, so it'll actually be able to search for shrines. Very handy tool, especially if you're a beginner. Alright, so there's our tower. One other thing I'm out here for is a long-distance bow, and there it is, right underwater. So I'm going to make myself an ice block out that way. There it is, baby. The Hooked on Phonics bow. And I only say that because I can't pronounce whatever the heck they call it. Alright. Now don't use that bow unless you're shooting at a long distance target, just because it's going to break just like everything else in this game. So you want to save that durability for things that are actually, you know, far. And that you actually need to hit long distance. And I got a couple of Hearty Bass out here. Might as well scoop them up while we're on the way. Now that Lizzle right there, he does have a good two-handed weapon. It's a soldier's claymore. But to be honest, we're going to be getting better. So I'm going to kind of ignore him for now. We're just going to head toward that tower and get this map activated. Like I said, I'm just going to kind of try to save time and not get every little fish I come across, just the stamina and the hearts. Okay, this is a grade that you can usually just walk or run up, so if it's raining, you're not going to have to really worry about slipping and sliding. One thing I'd like to point out, since we're on the subject of climbing in the rain, the game will tell you you can't climb in the rain. That is completely false. There is actually a way to climb in the rain, and I will teach you guys that in my walkthrough later on, when the time is right, of course. Now, you can't really do it with only having a wheel of stamina. You're going to need a couple of wheels of stamina. And it's going to help to have a speed meal going for you, or the climbing gear going for you to speed you up. Because after so many seconds, you're going to slide. So whether you have speed food going, or you have the climbing gear to speed you up, it's going to be very, very difficult to climb in the rain. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick detour and pick this weapon up. Very good weapon, especially once we get that that clothing set we're out for from the rainforest. I keep forgetting the name of it. The Phantom Ganon armor or something. The set bonus is bone attack up. That weapon will get an 80% boost on top of it. So right now I think it's 45. With that 80% boost, that'll be about an 85 to 90. 80 to 85, I guess. I'm bad with math, but for quick math, probably about an 80 attack power weapon. So when we come across these big monsters, they go down very, very quickly, especially if you eat an attack power meal on top of that. So without an attack power meal, it's a 1.8 multiplier. With attack power meal on top of that, it's a 2.7 multiplier. So that's almost triple the base weapon strength. So that 45 attack power club we just got will be about, let's see, 45 times 3, 45, 90, 135. So that'll be about 115, give or take, attack power weapon. Not a bad deal at all. That alone makes the trip out to the rainforest worth our while. Alright folks, so we're at the tower. We're going to go ahead and break video here. When we come back, we're going to head to the rainforest. Actually, scratch that. When we come back, we're going to do some things in the area here. We're going to get some shock arrows, and we're going to go get that 5-star speedster horse when we come back.